Now, what would have happened if this particular Saiyan had have survived the Bardock TV special? Well, I think it's time we found out. Hey guys, DB right here, and today I am back again with another new what if idea. And this time, this idea was actually thanks to someone in the comment sections from my last video. I believe it was my teaser for my Saiyans in Space video, continuing my What If Bardocks Stop Lord Frieza video series. Yes. And this request came from Mr. Jamie Knives, if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. If not, I apologize. Anyway, he suggested that I do a what if Fasha survived, or what if Fasha was Bardock's wife. Both ideas that are really cool, and I actually will be doing the other idea as well. The other idea, what if Fasha was the wife of Bardock, but for now, I'm going to start things off with what if Fasha survived? What if Fasha survived? What do you mean? The extermination of Planet Vegeta, or her death at the hands of Dodoria? Well, in this case, I'm actually thinking both. What would happen if we had an additional Saiyan throughout the events of Dragon Ball? And I reckon, yeah, this could be a pretty fun story, and could actually, we can have fun with a character we really don't know all that much about, and who could be quite an entertaining, addition to the whole Dragon Ball story as a whole. So without further ado, let's get started. Our story begins with Bardock and his crew successfully finishing their task on Kanasa, and Bardock getting struck and getting his premonitions from the Kanassans like he normally does. Tora, Fasha, Shugesh, Bardocks are all set to tackle their next assignment on Planet Meat. And this is happening while Bardock is in a med chamber recovering from whatever it was the Kanassan did to him, passing down his abilities to see the future. And well, meanwhile, Tora, Fasha and the rest of her teammates have indeed arrived on Planet Meat as ordered to by Lord Frieza, only to find that the planet is already conquered. There are dead corpses everywhere. They just don't understand what's happened here, when suddenly they found themselves ambushed and attacked by some of Frieza's men, who are led by Dodoria. Oh, that Dodoria. And their ambush goes off just like it does in the original, with ultimately the crew of Bardock being ultimately killed and destroyed. At least, so they think. And Bardock, of course, turns up in an attempt to avenge his teammates, taking down the crew, taking down the entire crew that Frieza had sent with him, with Dodoria. Of course, Bardock ultimately losing his fight with Dodoria, and Bardock, leaves the planet all banged up and damaged and scarred off, and flies away. And pretty much the rest of the Bardock Father Goku TV special plays off and finishes off and wraps up exactly like it does in the original, including with Kakarot being sent off-world. However, back in the ruins of Planet Meat, there is movement. Among all those Saiyan corpses, Fasha is still alive. Barely, the whole time throughout her teammate being wiped out by Dodoria, and Bardock losing his battle with Dodoria, and pretty much sleeping through Planet Vegeta's destruction, Fasha has woken up. She's very badly banged up, and she's just thinking get to her escape, get back to her pod, get back to Planet Vegeta, heal herself up, and at least warn everyone. She was knocked out, so she actually had no idea Bardock was there, and he himself got himself badly wounded as well. She doesn't know any of that. She doesn't even know what has happened to her planet yet. And, well, she's, in a space pod, and heading off to space, and she's just sort of sitting there with her scouter, trying to scout for any other life forms, which is kind of weird that she's not picking up any, because she's heading towards Planet Vegeta. It'd usually be full with high power levels, being the Saiyans, but nah, nothing there. She does, however, get a little glimmer reading from her scouter. It's an oncoming Saiyan pod, and she actually gets a little bit of a look through the porthole of the oncoming Saiyan pod door. It's actually Kakarot going the other way. Power level of 2, but still. Okay, this does seem to have given Fasha a little bit of hope that maybe the Saiyan race is still there, and that Bardock is still alive, at least. And, but no dice. When she gets back to where the planet was, it's not there anymore. Destroyed. Frieza, you heartless bastard. You actually did it. After all the hard work we did for you, this is how you repay us. You pay us back in our own blood. I will have my vengeance. One day, I will come for you. And with a bit of programming, she turns her space pod around and decides she's going to track after the other space pod holding little Kakarot. At the very least, she can at least watch over the boy, make sure he gets strong, and one day they'll avenge the Saiyan race together. And well, she's able to keep close track of Kakarot where his pod's going with by using her scouter, adjusting her course, as best she can. And well, eventually they do end up on planet Earth. Kakarot landing first and being found by Grandpa Gohan, while Fasha pretty much landed, somewhere else on the planet. And, well, when Fasha exits her pod, she's, a bit surprised to, find she's basically the nearby mountains of, South City. And she's scanning all these power levels around. Some of them are, quite decent. There's she can pick up level 100, level 2s, level 4, 5s. So finding Kakarot's gonna be like finding a needle in a haystack. And well, she's having a hard time. She tries some of these higher power levels, but she ends up finding people like Mercenary Tao and Master Shen. That's not who she's looking for. Does she engage with these people? No point. They're not who she's looking for, and they're probably not going to know who she's looking for, so she just continues flying away and is pretty much looking around aimlessly to try to find Kakarot. And, well, in the meantime, it actually begins to seem pretty hopeless for Fasha to even find Kakarot, because it quickly, turns into weeks, becomes months, and, turns into years. And meanwhile, the events of Dragon Ball have pretty much started with Goku running off with Bulma to start looking for Dragon Balls, and pretty much the whole Pilaf saga playing out per normal, as it normally does. And Fasha actually does have does get close to finding Kakarot a couple of times, but just sort of ending up that day behind him sort of thing. So she does sort of meet up the Ox King. He's like, yeah, I didn't see a boy with a tail. It was Goku, the great-grandson of Gohan. Yeah, he nearly hit me in the head with his old grandpa's power pole. He went on that way, I believe. Look at these Dragon Ball thingies. Dragon Balls? What are those? I have no idea. Something to do with wishes. This is not Saiyan-like behavior, Fasha thought, as she sort of just continued to try find him, and now, basically at this point, the Pilaf saga has wrapped up, and the whole tournament saga has begun, and Goku has more or less done his training with Roshi and Krillin, and has entered the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. And this is actually where Fasha gets her best lead in finding Goku, having heard word of the Tenkaichi Budokai. She heard word when, while she was flying around, this villager was being attacked by this lion or bear-looking monster. You know, the same one that tries to kill Turtle in the Pilaf saga. Apparently, it didn't learn its lesson, you know, dealing with one little Saiyan with a power level of barely, what, 50? 50, maybe 100? Nah. Well, Fasha decided to help this villager who was being attacked. You're a disgrace to your kind. Where I come from, we don't attack the weak. Fasha pretty much makes short work of this creature. Pretty much, yeah, full on destroying the creature. The villagers both sort of scared, but Fasha makes it clear she has no intention on hurting the girl, so the girl ultimately thanks her for helping her, says, "Now you're a pretty good fighter, you should enter the Tenkaichi Budokai coming up." Tenkaichi Budokai, what's that? It's where all the greatest fighters of the planet meet up together and see who's best. Oh, really? You know what? You may have just helped me find the person I'm looking for. Thank you very, very much. Hey, don't mention it. And with that, Fasha flies off. You know, if anything is gonna flush out Kakarot, it's gonna be, you know, the best fighters gathering up to see who's best. So, Fasha is actually in the audience somewhere, trying to spot Kakarot. And, well, more or less, she successfully does find Kakarot, who is fighting who he fights there. First, you know, defeating Giran and battling with Nam. And Fasha, even though with her scouter, she can tell Kakarot is pretty weak, like very, very weak for a Saiyan, you know. And, you know, she thought his mother was weak. She thought Raditz was weak. Oh no! But she can't help but be impressed on how Kakarot fights. He's always getting up there for more, even battling with Jackie Chun, who is by far a superior opponent, both in power and in technique, but Kakarot is getting up there and giving it his all. Definitely a Bardock quality, a quality that's going to make him really strong, really quickly, with the right tutelage. And Fasha is very impressed by this, but then something happens. Goku looks at the full moon and becomes a great ape. And, well, this isn't good for all the people standing there, I can tell you, and Fasha is doing her best not to look at the full moon herself. You know, we're going to have two rampaging monkeys, you know, causing terror. It's actually best the Saiyans try to keep as much of a low profile as they possibly can. After all, they got bigger fish to fry. They got to get revenge on Frieza. At least that's Fasha's idea anyway. Well, Goku just likes fighting strong guys. And, well, just like in the original, Jackie Chan ultimately blows up the moon, and there's nothing left to worry about, and the whole tournament wraps up as per normal. And this is where Fasha actually introduces herself. "I am a Saiyan just like you. You are the son of Bardock, are you not?" "Actually, I don't know my parents, lady. Grandpa Gohan, the man who raised me, told me, he just sort of found me in the woods. And, well, any memory I had from before then, you know, I kind of lost when I hit my head falling down a canyon." So, Fasha is going to have to explain everything to Kakarot while everyone else is listening in and just intrigued by this. And I think that's actually where we'll leave things for now. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this story? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already for more what ifs. And of course, keep your eyes open for Saiyans in Space, my audio recording of continuation of What If Bardocks Stopped Lord Frieza. And was there anything else? Yes, don't forget, you guys can be part of the DB Right fan art showcase to submit fan art of scenarios you like that I've done on this channel. You can simply tweet them with the hashtag DBRightArt, and I will see them, and they'll be a part of my reaction video to your fan art. We've already did one episode, and in my book that was a success, and I'm hoping to do more of those in the future. But that is entirely up to you guys submitting fan art.